Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the king. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, in 23 hours, we are going to know who the new killer is for Dead by Daylight. Chapter 16 is going to be revealed on their anniversary stream. Tomorrow is the big day. So, with just one day left, I think it would be a great time to tell you guys who I honestly believe that the new killer is going to be. I've messed with this idea a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I was all over the place as this is one of the hardest chapters we have to decode. We have no leaks and barely any information to work on, but I still want to give you my 2 cents on who I think it is and why I think it is. Remember, as I said, we don't have much information about this chapter, so take everything I say with a grain of salt because it's just me putting loose ends together and hoping for the best. I do want to say, but anyways, let's talk about this chapter. So, as we know, there's been a lot of people speculating a lot of different things. We've had Jason, we've had Pennywise, we've had Alien, we had Candyman, we had Pinhead, we had so much different things, but which one stands out? So let's go by process of elimination, logically speaking. So let's think about Jason. Jason is currently in legal limbo, and because of this, it might be very difficult to get this license out there. You know, you would have to go with a bunch of lawyers, sort everything out, make sure you won't get sued from any side, and there's just so much that you would need to do because of this that I don't think that it could be Jason. Pennywise is the next character on the list, and we've been speculating Pennywise for so long, and we've been wrong every single time. And the reason is because it's really hard to get Stephen King to nudge. He's not a very easy guy to convince to give up his assets, and we've seen other people try this, such as last year, and nothing ever happened. So I don't think it'll be as easy as just getting him on in. Next up, we have Chucky, something that a lot of people talk about too. For the simple reason that Chucky is just too tiny and too short. I know I always say that DVD would figure out a way, but for that reason, I'm just going to rule him out for now. He's going to get a little by because he isn't talked about as much as some of the other characters, so I'm not going to focus too heavily on him. Next on the list is Candyman. I'm going to rule out Candyman because the way Tony Todd has been saying some of these things on Twitter, it sounds like he is indeed a big fan of Dead by Daylight, but it doesn't seem like any of the evidence that people are putting forth are correlating with anything. For example, people are saying that he might have done voice lines for Dead by Daylight, but this was done 2 weeks prior to this chapter, so I don't think that's going to be the case, considering the fact that they normally have chapters well made in advance. People have been putting in together like all the things that I spoke about in yesterday's video, with all of the B things, with all of the, some of the devs, one of the devs actually saying that this is going to be fun or something along the lines of that, something about candy. And we don't really know the credibility of what this person does. We know that they're associate community manager. We also have the whole black and gold thing, which could just be a color scheme. So a lot of the evidence could be kind of swayed. So I don't think it's Candyman for that reason. And obviously the last one on the list is Pyramid Head. And I think just because, you know, Silent Hill is now getting more information. We're getting more information on it for PS5 and it coming out there. I think because of that, and they're working on that game, they wouldn't want to give up their rights, which leaves us with one thing: Pinhead. Pinhead is the only person on the list that, to me, logically makes sense. Now, I must have you guys know, I have a bet with Polyester. My bet says Pennywise and Pyramid Head. On his side of the bet, he has Jason and Candyman. And I, for the longest time, and deep down in me, I still kind of think it could be Jason. That's my hope. But what I believe is Pinhead. And I'll tell you why I think it's Pinhead. Leaks by Daylight have made a post on this as well. And this was kind of the same things that I was thinking of. And then they just put it out well formatted into text. Now, a big factor of this is someone named Scott. If you guys don't know who Scott is, Scott Young, he's been going around and claiming that he knows what the next chapter is. I don't really know what the motivation behind all of this why he's doing it, but he's come out and he said he knows what the chapter is. In fact, he's gone as far as putting the chapter in a file, locking the file with a password, and just leaving it there until this chapter comes out, so he can either say that he knows or it could just be a prank or anything like that. We don't really know what he knows, and to be clear to everyone, he is not under NDA, as he said, which means that he can literally say anything. How he has this information, I don't know, and if he's not under NDA, then we don't know how trustable it is, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt for now. Let's say he does know who this new killer is. So he's been going around and kind of declining a lot of these killers when people go to him, which is a little bit ironic, considering that when it was mentioned on his live stream, he said that I won't deny anyone because you guys would just figure out who it is by process of elimination. But then he came out in the following week saying that it's not Alien, it's not Candyman, it's not any of these characters. So he started eliminating a lot of people, and one of those were Jason, Pennywise was there, Alien was there, Candyman was there, which again leaves us with Pinhead. They never said anything about Pinhead, so it could possibly be him for that reason. Obviously, as I said, we don't really know what he knows, so we can't really rely on that as a source. So I'll give you some more information. We know that this is going to be a classical license killer. And we know that it means a lot to Dead by Daylight. As they mentioned, it is an emotional chapter. We know that in an interview that Matthew Cote has done, that Pinhead is something that they would want in the game. This is something that would fit the glove really well, and if you know the lore about Pinhead, it suits it very well. Giving someone as much torture before death possible would be something the entity would like, working for them. We also know that there were chains in the last trailer for the Deathslinger, and as soon as we saw these chains, everybody automatically jumped and was like, Pinhead is coming. And I remember having a conversation with Polyester, and we were like, are they really going to tease chains and it not going to be Pinhead as it's so iconic to the character? And turns out it wasn't. It was a Deathslinger. But what if these chains had a little bit more of a significant meaning? What if these chains actually hinted to the bigger picture of we're going to get Pinhead coming soon? It's something that would make a lot of sense. Obviously, they wouldn't correlate, but it's like a little early teaser because, again, they have these chapters done months ahead of time. So that could be something. We also know that the map talks about the different levels of the map. It says wall level 01. We made a video on this talking about a little bit more. If we correlate that with Pinhead, we know that they have kind of like, I never really seen it, but they have a normal world and then they have their world, right? They come out of the box or whatever it is. I'm not too sure about the lore because I never seen the movies, but this is from what I read. But this is what I read on some of the wiki posts and the creepypastas, and they come out this box, they come from this world, and bam. So what if, similar to Freddy, this map also... So what if, similar to something like Stranger Things with a mix of maybe Freddy, the map will change depending on what level you're on. So maybe if you go to level 2, you will go down to their world or something like that. It'll be really cool. That's all the information that I pretty much have, and I'm speculating that it could be Pinhead. Again, we have made theories like this in the past, putting together information that really truly doesn't belong together, but we don't know. That is my final guess. I would absolutely love to hear everybody else's final guesses on what they think this chapter is and why. I've read some amazing theories. As I said, we summed it all up on yesterday's video. And as I said, tomorrow is the big day, my friend. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I would love to hear some of your theories below. Let it be known today, because if you get it right, you can have the bragging rights for the entire 3 months until the next chapter. I hope to see you guys on Twitch as well, as we're going to be streaming there. Make sure you leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Guys, we are also nearing 75,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. We should be hitting it today, actually, so thank you for all of the love and support. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we will see you in the fog.